بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وبه نستعين على أمور الدنيا والدين. الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الأمين سيدنا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، فسبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وارزقنا فهما. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. And welcome back, brothers and sisters. We would like to continue our discussion on Islamic education for our children, on how to prepare a solid future Muslim generation. And in the past few sessions, we have talked about several points. And if not mistaken, the last point we talked about was the importance of continuity, the importance of understanding that education is not a one-shot process. It is a lifetime process. It is a continued process. So in order to educate our children, we have to take into our consideration very seriously that it is not only a one-shot activity. We bring our children one day to the school or 2 days, 2 weekends to the masjid to study Islam, and we feel that they have become a good Muslims. It is about a continuity. It is about being consistent in our efforts, in our jihad, if I use this word, in our struggle to make sure that our future generation will remain, inshallah ta'ala, believing, strong Muslims, and believing in the teaching of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tonight I'm going to talk about one of the other important issue, and that is the importance of having priorities in dealing with our generation. Of course, generally speaking, we have a problem in our community that sometimes we Muslims do not know how to differentiate between what are more important than less important, which are more prioritized priority, and which are less priority in our affairs. There's a chaotic in a way we handle our issues. For example, just to give you one example, a very simple example but commonly happening in the Muslim community, when our people are fighting about what type of carpet that we are going to use in the masajid, whether it is black or white or green or red carpet, we want Turkish made carpet or Iranian made carpet, we are still arguing about all these issues. Or sometimes we talk about what type of kuba, what type of dome that should we have in our masajid. But at the same time, we forget that which is more important is not about the carpet. It is not about the dome. It is even not about the building itself when you talk about the masjid. What is more important about the masjid is about how to make sure that our masjid is filled and can be full in the time of prayer. How should we attract the young generation, the youth, so that they can come to the masajid? So this is even more prioritized than just talking or discussing or even fighting about what type of carpet should we put in the masajid. Similarly, when we come to the issue of education, Islamic education or religious education, oftentimes we talk about things which is I may not say this is not important. I don't say it is not important because for some people it may be very, very important. But there are some even more important than just those issues. Just wanted to give you, to be very open and blunt, to be very honest. That sometimes we Muslims, particularly in America, oftentimes we cannot differentiate between what is culture and what is religion. Or we just mix between the two. That our understanding of life is more cultural than religious itself. And what we understand, we want to impose that on our children. Let me just give you one example. One day there is a brother who came to us asking for help about his child. Because he said, my son doesn't want to come to the masjid anymore. So we had an opportunity to go to his house, talk to his son, ask his son what happened, why you don't want to come to the masjid. We did not say that your father said that you don't want to come to the masjid anymore. Yes, we asked him, we asked the son, that in the past I have seen you quite a lot in the masjid, and nowadays I didn't see you and I didn't see you anymore. What happened? And the son was very open, very honest. He said, I like to come to the masjid. I love to come to pray in the masjid. But the problem is that every time that I wanted to come to the masjid, my dad, tend to force me to change my outfit. Here, brothers and sisters, we see the priority between outfit and coming to the masjid. Because we want our children, when they come to the masjid, we want them to have a thawb al-Arabi, these Arabic clothings, or maybe South Asian, Bangladesh or Pakistani South Asians, in order to be considered more sunnah to come to the masjid. But some of our generations, they don't feel that this is something which is very fundamentally important for them to follow. To have an outfit, certain outfit in order to come to the masjid. They just take it easy. They have their regular shirt as a young people in America. They come to the masjid and pray, alhamdulillah. That's what I mean, brothers and sisters, that we have to know which are more priorities than the less priorities. And unfortunately, we are chaotic in the way we see things in our life. And more important, that we don't sometimes, differentiate between what are cultures and what is religion. And I think it's very important. I just wanted to say, of course, that when we come to the religious practice, the way we practice our religion, particularly in our social life, of course we cannot disconnect that from our cultural affiliations. And that's why if you see the Muslims' lives, socially speaking, I'm not talking about aqidah, I'm not talking about ibadat or rituals, I'm talking about social life. When you see the life of the Muslims, socially speaking, you will see that they live their life differently. You go to the Middle East, they have their lifestyles. You go to South Asians, Bangladesh, Pakistan or India, Muslims, they have their lifestyles. You come to Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Malaysia, for example, they have their own lifestyle. Then you go to Africa, you'll find Muslims having their own lifestyles, socially speaking, social. Now, possibly if you go to Hispanic countries, Latin America, South America, Brazil, maybe Colombia, you will see Muslims also living their life social different, the different ways. This is because our religious practices in terms of social life cannot be disconnected from our cultural affiliation. Sometimes we don't feel that that type of lifestyle in terms of social life is less Islamic according to our understanding. We see our brothers are walking on the street with a suit and necktie, going to their offices. And for those who used to have turban and Arabic dress or South Asian dress, they say, oh, that one is less Islamic. And that is because of the cultural understanding of the religion. I'm not saying that it is wrong, because that is the right of the people to feel more religious when you show yourself culturally religious. I mean, in terms of practicing your culture, but at the same time you feel that it's a part of religion. There's nothing wrong with that. You have your hat, for example, walking on the street, and we consider that as a part of the religious, signs. People can say you as a committed Muslim because you have hat, you have a, different outfit. That is fine. That is great. But to consider others less Muslim, let's say, simply because they have different outfit, that is something that we need to correct. Something that we need to correct. Because we have to differentiate between what is religion and what is really cultures that we are practicing in our life. So when we come to the Islamic education for children, this mindset, this understanding of religion must be taken into consideration. We have to know that our young generations are living their life differently from us. They have their own social circumstance. They have their own mindset in terms of social life. And as long as that social lifestyles is in line or doesn't contradict with the principles of Islam, inshallah, that's fine. As long as in line with the principles of Islam, does not contradict the principles of the teaching. It doesn't contain any shirk, for example. It doesn't contain any immoralities, for example. They are covering their aura, although they have different, styles in covering their aura. That's fine. That's what I mean, brothers and sisters, that as we are living our life differently now, we have to take into consideration the importance of putting priorities over non-priorities. This is one of the points that I'd like to underline here tonight. The next point is the importance of being a role model. Become a role model for our kids. Become an example in terms of practicing the deen, in terms of understanding the deen, in terms of living our life in general. Become role model. Role model or example is a part of that human nature. Everyone needs someone to look upon. If you are working in the office, you want to see your boss as a role model. Or you want to see your superior, your boss in the office as a role model. And if your boss say you have to come at 9 o'clock in the morning, but he himself come to the office, like 10 o'clock, always late, then even without saying it, you are complaining basically. You're going to have something that is uneasy. You feel that is how it is possible, how it is that he wants us to come on time and he himself is not coming on time. This is just a kind of natural reaction. Similarly, our kids need a role model. And if they don't find that role model at home, they're going to try to find it somewhere else. And that's why some of the kids are having role model out there on the street. For those who are living in New York, they will go to Times Square trying to find someone to be role model. Or in America in general, our kids are taking Hollywood's figures to be their role models. Why? because they fail to see their parents as role models. Now, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is our role model. Of course, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. He's the best role model for everyone, for every human being. Why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is considered role model? While according to the Holy Quran, مَا عَلَيْكَ إِلَّا الْبَلَاغِ, O Muhammad, your responsibility is only to convey. It means that when you convey the message, done. That's it. Your responsibility is done. Finish. But why then Rasulullah sallallahu must be role model? Because naturally this ummah is in need of someone to look upon, to see as an example. And that's why Rasulullah sallallahu is there to show us, not only to convey the concept, but in practice. And that's why Rasulullah sallallahu had become as the best in his human character. وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. Though Muhammad, you are indeed on a very noble human character, because his character is our example. And therefore, because role model is the natural needs of every human being, our children also is in need, are in need of that. So parents must be the examples for them. They see them how they speak, they see them how they act, they see them how they worship, they see them how they commit themselves to the Quran, they see them how they pray, they see them how they eat their food, they see them how they sleep, they see them when they leave the house, when they come to the house. And all these our children are basically watching, and without even saying it, they are watching. They tend to say, I am following you. We are following you, Dad. Mom, we are following you. And that is the importance of being role model, brothers and sisters. So once again, we are competing with the environment. The environment where we live in can truly be such influential on our kids. The movies, the game that they're watching, the social media they are now interacting very, very closely. Our kids are being bombarded with different kind of influences, and if they don't get any example from their parents, they are going to lose. They're going to be lost. They're going to lose in the environment. They're going to drawn down into those negative environments. So here, parents plays an important role to show them how to fight the negative environments in our life. Brothers and sisters, I think it's enough for tonight. I just wanted to underline 2 points. Number one, always look at which one is more prioritized and less priority in terms of, interacting with the kids, in terms of teaching the kids, in terms of communicating the kids. And the second one is the importance of being role model for them. Because if we fail to be the role models for our kids, then they are going to find role models somewhere else. It can be Hollywood, it can be maybe from Korea. Many kids are following these Korean singers, because our kids are very easily attracted by this strong cultural environment they live in. And so be role model for them. Even when you talk to them, be the role model how to talk politely, so they can, when they talk to you, they're going to talk politely, not because that's what they know in terms of concept, but because they learn from us as parents how to talk. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to strengthen us and give us tawfiq. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide our kids and protect them, so that they can inshallah continue the legacy of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Till next time, see you inshallah then. هدانا الله وإياكم أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.